everyone, welcome to part 5 of our life science unit. Today we're going to be talking about what do animals need to survive. So before we get started on that, I do want to back up to part 4 where we explore those last 2 habitats. So for part 4, our question was, what animals and plants live in the forest and rainforest? So I had gotten a lot of feedback from everyone and some very popular animals that you saw in the videos I suggested, as well as your own research. In the forest, you had seen bald eagle, an owl, a fox, deer, and squirrels. And you had also seen some common plants like grass, pine trees, and maple trees. And in the rainforest, you had seen a gorilla, a sloth, toucan, an anaconda, which is the type of snake, and a poison dart frog. There were also lots of plants that you had researched that grow in the rainforest. There was a kapok tree, a fig tree, a cacao tree, which is actually where chocolate comes from, and also the coffee plant, which you know I cannot live without. Always have my coffee. So I had gotten some different claims and evidence from some different students, and a very popular animal that I had heard about was the bald eagle. And the claim that I kind of put together from a lot of different students was that a bald eagle lives in a forest habitat. So the bald eagle is in the forest and not the rainforest habitat. And they had some evidence here that they know a bald eagle lives in a forest habitat because it needs tall trees to build its nest. So I had asked a student a question why they think they need a tall tree for their nest, and they said that the bald eagle needs to stay safe from predators. So that was a great answer, great job. So today we are going to be focusing on not only why these animals live where they live, but what they need to survive. So I'm going to be reading a book to you that talks a little bit about what animals need to survive. And I have some questions that I want you to think about as I'm reading. And I'm also going to stop and ask you some thinking questions as we go along. So the 2 questions you can ask yourself throughout reading are, what animal depends on blank? So you can fill in different things that you see in the book here. And what would happen if there were no blank? So if something was missing in this whole order of things, what do you think might happen? So let's get started with our book. So today I'm going to be reading Hey Diddle Diddle, a Food Chain Tale. And this is written by Pam Kapczynski and illustrated by Sherry Rogers. A slimy green beetle was a-strollin' along, tappin' his feet and singin' a song. He said, "Hey diddle diddle, what do you know? I've got 6 legs to help me go." Wonder where he's going. A slithering snake came slinkin' past when he spotted that bug, a snack at last. He swallowed it whole and shimmied along, a hissin' and a grinnin' and a singin' a song. Oh my. He's saying, "Hey diddle diddle, I'm feelin' fine. Call me cold-blooded, but I've got a spine." A hawk looked down, a tweet in a tune, and said, "I'd like some breakfast soon." So I wonder what the beetle was to the snake. And I wonder what is going to happen with this hawk. I wonder what it's going to do next. He snatched that snake right off the ground, gobbled him up without a sound, and sang, "Hey diddle diddle, I don't ask why, I've got feathers to help me fly." So I want you to stop and think right there, what animal is depending on the snake? He flapped his wings and he was gone when a frog kerplunked into the pond. He sang, "Hey diddle diddle, it's certainly true, the water is nice and the land is too." Wonder what that means. Where do you see frogs in this picture? On the land, in the water, or both? A passing bass just shook his head. "I disagree with you," he said. "I just like water on my scales. It fills my gills and wets my tails." How is the fish different from the frog? Where does it think the best place to live is? He swallowed that frog, it didn't take long. Then he slipped away just a singin' his song. He sang, "Hey diddle diddle, it can't be wrong. I love to swim all day long." What would happen if there were no frogs? Think about that question. It's got some thick pages. It's hard to make sure I'm not skipping a page. A lizard said, "That sounds like fun, but my dry scales prefer the sun. 'Cause when I'm cold, I'm stiff and slow, but warm me up and watch me go." I wonder what animal's going to get a snack next. He sang, "Hey diddle diddle, life is grand, baskin' and relaxin' in the toasty sand." A plump caterpillar on a leaf above was wigglin' along, doin' what she loved. Take a look at that caterpillar up there. What is the caterpillar doing right here? And what do you think this lizard is about to do? I wonder how all three of these are related. She sang, "Hey diddle diddle, it can't be beat, munchin' and a crunchin' on a leafy treat." But she nibbled so much the leaf gave way. The lizard grinned, "My lucky day." Uh-oh, what's happened to the caterpillar? I'm wondering, before we go to the next page, what animal was depending on the leaves right here? And how do these leaves grow? What do the leaves depend on? Because plants depend on things too, not just animals. He gulped down that snack, a sweet surprise, and said, "Now I'm feeling energized." But a sneaky bobcat, smooth and sly, was crouching in the brush nearby. I wonder what's on this bobcat's mind. Any ideas? And when that lizard dashed away, the bobcat pounced upon her prey. She wolfed it down and licked her fur and said, "I love fast food," and started to purr. Is that lizard your idea of fast food? Not mine. She sang, "Hey diddle diddle, now fancy that. A nap sounds good to this old cat. The lion's king, or so they say. I guess that makes me queen today." The end. So I hope that you enjoyed the book, and I hope you were able to think about some of the questions I was asking. Before we go any further, I do want to share those last few science notebook questions with you. Oops, wrong page. So we are on part 5, and there were 2 prediction questions for you to answer before you do number 3. What do animals need to survive, and why do animals depend on other animals to survive? So you should have already answered those, and now you can think about number 3, our reasoning. So I want you to think about the book. I want you to think about all of those plants and animals, and how animals and animals as well depend on each other. And I want you to think that the reason there is a blank in the food chain is because why? So those connections that you saw are just that. They are food chains. You know how a chain is connected? Animals and plants in their habitats are also connected. So I want you to think about why those different animals are living there and tell me why you think certain animals are in the food chain, okay? So I'm really excited to see your predictions and your reasoning. I hope you enjoyed the book. We have a nice writing activity that's going to be happening in part 6 that kind of goes along with this. So please watch and complete those notebook questions, and I will see you next time for part 6. Bye.